came across this question the other day, and it just stuck to my heart. And I went into a deep nosedive on this question. And the question was, why do us as human beings seek the approval from people? And that just took me in a whole different place, because we normalized this so much and we don't know it. And this generation, it just we put ourselves in a place to not put God first, not ask God questions, not ask God what should be the next decision, what should be the next step in my life. But all we do is go to people first instead of God. And I see people putting in Instagram bios, God first, and just saying God first in many different things, but they don't actually put God first. And I'm not gonna say I'm perfect. It's been times where I haven't put God first. And God, I'm thankful that God helped me identify that, because he changed my perspective of the way I make my decisions now. And we have to put God first. We have to put God first in all things. And we can ask questions. Like, some people just maybe experience church hurt and then blame God about it, and then doesn't ask questions, doesn't try praying to him and asking him questions. But yeah, when in our problems, bro, we don't seek God and ask, how should I get out of this problem without any trouble? And first thing we do is go to human beings and ask for their approval about it and how they feel about it. But little do we know that God is the eternal God, and he can do all things, and he knows what's right from wrong. So would you rather ask God that knows everything, the eternal God that knows right from wrong, or would you rather ask people who do wrong, sin every day, and judge people every day, judge your decisions every day? Like, we should get ourselves in a place to just not seek the approval of man, because it'll put us in a dark place, truly. And it'll give opportunity for the enemy to conquer our heart and conquer our mind, because when your mind is like so off God, and like you're not even thinking about how God feel about it, and how like you're not even thinking about God at this moment, the enemy will put his foot into the door, and he will try to conquer you as quick as he can, because you're giving opportunity for him to dwell in your presence. So yeah, man, we have to, us as humans have to get out of this place, because it's truly a place where we can hurt ourselves in the long run, and we don't want to do that, man. We don't want to do that. We want to seek kingdom, and we want to be with God for eternity. Everything on this earth is temporary, and we shouldn't dwell on our feelings. We shouldn't dwell on our feelings, because our feelings is nothing but a product to our flesh. So yeah, man, we should not even think about our flesh, man. Put our spirit before our flesh. And I tell this to my friends all the time, bro. We should put our spirit before our flesh, because man, it's a hard place. So I came across this scripture, Galatians 1:10. It's, am I now trying to win the approval of human beings or of God? Or am I trying to please people? If I was still trying to please people, I would not be a servant of Christ. And that's like so true, because If that wasn't true, man, it'll put us it'll put us in a place to just disobey God all the time, you know. And we got to be a servant of Christ, a true servant of Christ, because us being that living example can help others increase their relationship with Christ and try to pursue their relationship with Christ and take it more seriously. So we should be a true servant of Christ and not seek the approval of people, because just put us in a place to understand that we are not a true servant of Christ. Throughout this life, we have to continue to trust in God. Through good days, through bad days, through iffy days, we have to trust in God at all times. Trusting in God not only helps us grow stronger as a person and grow our relationship with Him, but it allows God to get opportunity to do His best work in our lives. And it just takes me back to a verse. That verse is Psalms 18:28. And that verse reads, "You, Lord, keep my lamp burning. My God turns my darkness into light." And that just took me in a deep nosedive again to dissolve this verse and actually think about how David was, like, what David was going through and how he continued to trust in God throughout this journey. And David just got delivered from the hand of his enemies. So that just shows how much trust David had in God throughout that whole journey against his enemies. And when David wrote this, he was confident. I say he was confident about what God can do. And since he was young, he trusted in God. And he grew old and he trusted in God through all through his life. And just going back to when I said us applying ourselves to human approval. Human approval will put us in a space where we don't know where to go. We don't know what corner to turn. We don't know what step to take after, because we have an opinion-based answer that we stored in our mind, and now it's trapped. And us as human beings, we hear something and we plant it in our heart so quickly. And we have to understand that it's dangerous to do that. It's truly dangerous to do that, because not only pushing ourselves to believe what humans say, but we are pushing ourselves to a dark place. We're pushing ourselves to separation from God eternally. And we're putting people first instead of God. So we have to understand that pleasing others and seeking approval from human beings is something we should not do. Absolutely should not do. But God lived on this earth for a reason. And He knows that we are going to do that at times. He knows the ins and outs to our feelings. He knows that our flesh can take over sometimes. But at the end of the day, God will forgive and forget. God will acknowledge the fact that He loves you to the end of this. To the end. I'm going to just say that, to the end. He's the beginning and the end. So God will love you to the end, man. And you should always keep your trust in Him. You should always follow His lead and follow His footsteps, the life He lived. Yes, we're not perfect like He is, but we should always follow in His footsteps. And like David did, man, when you're going through battles with your enemies, you're going through tough times with family, girlfriend, boyfriend, relationship problems, marriages, trusting in God will bring you a long way. And it will help you not break your heart and not lose your mind in that moment. And it'll help you make decisions, better decisions. So yeah, trusting in God is very important. And we should always trust in him at all times. And I got faith in y'all. I got faith in myself. I got faith in God. I love God. I trust in God. And you should too. You should allow God to move in your life and be the center of your life.